term terrorism refers to an act that is wrong, evil, illegal, and a crime. Acts of terrorism can occur in both times of conflict and times of peace, and are typically motivated by a matrix of reasons or ideals. The economic impact of terrorism can be direct cost to property and immediate effects on productivity, as well as long-term indirect costs of responding to terrorism. In a political viewpoint, terrorism is an intentional and predetermined strategy of political violence. This implies any groups, states, or individuals can employ it in a pursuit of strategic goals. Terrorists can choose to adopt nonviolent strategies instead. They can even become statesmen and peacemakers. Importantly, it also implies political motivation, as a way of distinguishing terrorism from other forms of violence designed to terrify. Terrorism dates all the way back to the late 1900s. Starting from 1978 to 1955, took place of the Unabomber, where Ted Kaczynski, a recluse ideologically opposed to technological progress, sent 16 bombs through the mail over the course of 2 decades. The following terrorist attack is the bombing of the first World Trade Center in 1993. Ramzi Youssef, a member of Al-Qaeda and nephew of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, loaded a truck bomb into the parking garage below Tower 1 of the World Trade Center. The next chronological terrorist event takes place in Oklahoma City in 1995. Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols killed 168 people and injured more than 600 people when he exploded a car bomb in the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City. Next is the Centennial Olympic car bombing in 1996. At the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia, Eric Robert Rudolph planted pipe bombs and shrapnel underneath benches in the main square of the Olympic grounds. 2 people died, 111 were injured. The following event is one of the deadliest acts of terrorism in United States history: the bombing of the World Trade Center in 2001 on September 11th. Nearly 3,000 people died in a matter of hours. The attacks were a series of 4 coordinated terrorist attacks on a hijacked plane by the Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda on the United States. Relative to the attack of 9/11, caused the shoe bomber in 2001, Richard Reed, a British citizen with ties to Al-Qaeda, attempts to blow up a plane with explosives implanted in his shoe. After trying to light a fuse to ignite the explosive, Reed was subdued by other passengers. That same year came along the anthrax attacks. Biologist Bruce E. Ivins mailed letters laced with anthrax to several media organizations and senators' offices. 5 people died and 17 were infected by the lethal bacterium. The following year was the case of the Beltway Snapper. In 2002, John Ali Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo terrorized the D.C. Beltway area, taking shots at people from the modified trunk of a Chevrolet sedan. 10 people were killed over the course of 3 weeks. 3 others were injured. Forward to 2006 was the SUV attack at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Mohammed Reza Tahiri Azhar, wanting to avenge the deaths of Muslims worldwide, intentionally hits 9 people with an SUV at the University of North Carolina, fortunately resulting in no deaths. In 2010, a car bomb filled with propane tanks, fertilizer, gasoline, and firecrackers failed to ignite in Times Square, caused by Faisal Shahzad. Before 9/11, the United States had policies in regards to terrorism, but not to the extent we have now. Newer agencies have been created to improve counterterrorism methods worldwide, such as the Global Counterterrorism Forum, and subdepartments, such as the Terrorist Threat Integration Center, which belongs to the FBI. However, terrorism is not a new thing. There have been agencies that have been around since before 9/11 that are still trying to fight terrorism. Agencies such as the Foreign Policy Research Institute have been combating terrorism since 1955. On May 22, 1998, President Bill Clinton signed the Presidential Decision Directive 62. It talks about 10 ways that, when implemented all together, could lessen the amount of terrorist attacks and other activities. After 9/11, most foreign policies were based on finding and taking down Osama bin Laden and the rest of his followers. As a possible solution, we could have a biannual meeting that would include all foreign nations, which would allow the nations to talk and develop a reasonable understanding of what the countries would like to have happen in a peaceful way that would allow us to safely diffuse the situation with terrorism. One of the biggest difficulties that this plan would bring on to us would be to get all the countries to sit down and peacefully talk. This would be difficult because some of the leaders of countries don't like to socialize with those beliefs who are different than others.